Oxford University's 800-year history had never witnessed such profound silence. Professor Harrington had just declared, "Africa has contributed nothing to human civilization." Ibrahim Traore rose from his seat as 500 academics held their breath. But no one could have predicted that his words over the next 10 minutes would go viral and end the professor's career. The Sheldonian Theatre at Oxford was packed that March afternoon. It was meant to be a routine lecture on global leadership in the 21st century, featuring various world leaders and academics. Ibrahim Traore, president of Burkina Faso, had been invited as part of the university's African Leadership Series. He sat quietly in the front row, dressed in a simple dark suit, taking notes as various speakers presented their views on development, democracy, and international cooperation. Professor Edmund Harrington took the stage at 3:30 p.m. A man in his late 60s with silver hair and wire-rimmed glasses, he commanded respect through decades of published work on European history and civilization. His introduction was glowing. Rhodes Scholar, author of 12 books, holder of 3 honorary doctorates. As he began his lecture on the foundations of modern civilization, his tone was confident, almost dismissive, as if the conclusions he was about to present were beyond dispute. "When we examine the pillars of human advancement," Harrington began, his voice echoing through the historic venue, "we see a clear pattern. Mathematics from Greece, law from Rome, philosophy from Germany, industrial innovation from Britain." He paused, surveying the audience over his glasses. "The foundations of what we call civilization have decidedly Western origins." Several audience members shifted uncomfortably, but Harrington continued, emboldened by the academic setting that had long protected such views. 20 minutes into his lecture, Harrington made the statement that would define the rest of his life. Now, some might ask about other continents' contributions. Asia gave us gunpowder and paper, certainly. The Americas had sophisticated calendars. But Africa? He paused dramatically, a slight smirk playing on his lips. "I challenge anyone in this room to name a single significant contribution to human civilization from sub-Saharan Africa. The continent has been a recipient of civilization, not a contributor to it." The silence that followed was deafening. In the front row, Ibrahim Traore slowly closed his notebook. He placed his pen carefully on the desk beside it. Around him, several African students and academics sat frozen, caught between outrage and the intimidating atmosphere of challenging such a senior professor in Oxford's most prestigious venue. The moment stretched on, heavy with unspoken tension, until Traore raised his hand. "Yes?" Harrington acknowledged him with barely concealed irritation, clearly not expecting to be challenged. Traore stood, his movement deliberate and calm. "Professor Harrington," he began, his voice carrying despite not using the microphone, "I would